This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight now we bring you a discussion on Vande Bharat Express Desh ki train. The participants are Vijay Dutt, former additional member Railways, and V. Ravi Kumar, AIR correspondent.
Yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually flagged off Vande Bharat Express between Secunderabad and Visakhapatnam. This train is the 8th Vande Bharat Express introduced by the Indian Railways. Vande Bharat Express, earlier known as Train 18, is an indigenously developed semi-high-speed, engine-less, electric multiple-unit train operated by Indian Railways. It was designed and manufactured by the Integral Coach Factory, Chennai. It was inaugurated in February 2019 on the Delhi-Varanasi route. To discuss the Vande Bharat train and its impact on India and its economy, we're joined by former additional member Indian Railways, Mr. Vijay Dutt. Mr. Dutt, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Raviji.
Mr. Dutt, tell us about the thought behind Vande Bharat train and its journey so far.
It is a very important development, one of the few important developments which nation has taken towards making India carbon neutral by 2070, as was announced by our Honorable Prime Minister Modi in COP26 at Glasgow. Now, if India has to become carbon neutral by 2070, step is railways should become carbon neutral by 2030. For that, a major step has been taken for making Indian railways fully electrified by 2023. We are on step 1, and we will be the only railway system in the world to be fully electric. And then the step is to feed the electricity from renewable sources, which we will achieve by 2030. I want to give you some important facts on this, our challenge of fighting climate change in which world is together with us. See, in 1950, 80% of the transport, both freight and passenger, was on railways. Gradually, there is a decline like it is everywhere in the world. Now, it is 10% only with passenger with railways, 27% freight, and gradually declining every year. And it's all going to road. But if you see the emissions, at present, 95% of emissions we are talking of anthropogenic emissions, man-made emissions from road sector. And railways used to be 2%. Now it is almost negligible because you are going to be almost carbon neutral. Right. So world over emphasis is how you go back to that situation where bulk of your freight and bulk of your passenger is going to be on railways. We are leading in this, and our national railway plan, which came about a year back, says that we want to increase this capacity, the figure of 10% passenger and 27% freight, to 43% by 2030 gradually, and sustain it by 2050. Mind you, why I am saying sustain? Because the economy will be growing, the transport requirement will be growing. To sustain it is also a very big challenge. In this direction, so many initiatives have been taken in railways. One is capacity enhancement. For capacity enhancement, there are many components to it. You have to put more electrification, more tracks, distributed power, push-pull, and for major cities, metros, and speed. Connectivity, speed is very essential. And speed is pillars. Passenger trains, express trains whose speed have been increased, then semi-high speed bullet train. I am talking of Ahmedabad, Mumbai, and more routes, maglev and hyperloop. And I am proud to say that under the present leadership, we have progress on all these pillars. Today we are talking of semi-high speed, which is the Vande Bharat train, fully indigenously conceived, designed, manufactured, tested, and commissioned, trial tested, prototype tested, routine tested, commissioned, and put into operation. First train came in 2019 February. Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated from New Delhi to Varanasi. This is the 8th in the series which has been inaugurated from Secunderabad. Coming to what is the important features of this development, which is very, very important. So there are two types of trains. Normally, one is loco halt, where there is a loco, and its one version is push-pull, where there is a loco in the front and a locomotive in the rear. There is another train, what we call in short EMU, its expansion is electrical multiple units. If you see suburban services in Mumbai, Kolkata, and metro trains, they are EMU type.
Right.
Now, our Vande Bharat is an EMU type trains. If we talk of semi-high-speed trains and high-speed trains in the world, there are two versions. One is Japanese version, which we call Shinkansen, and this version is coming to India, which will be our first high-speed train from Mumbai to Ahmedabad at the speed of 340 kilometers per hour. This is a EMU type train, where out of the 16 coaches, 14 coaches will have power. Second is push-pull train, like TGV, the train of France. So we have gone in for Vande Bharat, a design which is electrical multiple unit. The advantage of this design is our multiple. First phase, because power is distributed in Vande Bharat, every second coach is the power coach. So you can reduce the weight of the train. If the weight of the train is reduced, then your loaded to tail ratio is improved. So you can improve the energy efficiency of the train.
Right.
Second is the regenerative braking. This train has the advantage of having regenerative braking. When we talk regenerative braking, normally when you apply the brake, the kinetic energy is lost in heat and not gain. In this train, this kinetic energy is converted into electricity. The same motor works as generator and goes to OHE and is available for hauling other trains. That way, about 18 to 20% less power is required. So this has got a very efficient regenerative braking system. Again, you see in loco halt trains, sometimes you feel jerk because there is a slack in the coupler. In this train, because every second train is a powered train, it is a rigid coupler and you don't feel any jerk. So for passenger, jerk-free, environment-friendly, comfortable train is provided. What we say about the ride quality, like you used to say for trains abroad like Shinkansen, where a full glass of water will not spill. Same experience you can have in this train. So that is the beauty of the riding comfort. One thing I would like to add with each model, like this is the 8th train. Compared to first train to 8th train, there has been further technological inputs. Like the capacity of traction motor is increased, so you have got better acceleration. Better air conditioning because the technology of the air conditioning has been increased. Then you have got 180-degree rotation of the seat in executive class, where the seat can be rotated to face the window to see a beautiful view. Reclining mechanism has been added in the other class also. We have modular toilets. We have bio vacuum, which are working on bio vacuum system. And what is a moment of pride for India? This train was conceived in 2017, and from design to all steps in February 19, first train was inaugurated.
Right.
So from concept to design to planning to manufacturing and commissioning, testing, doing safety testing, doing prototype testing, regular testing, commissioning, it should be a very record development anywhere in the world which has been achieved with totally indigenous efforts.
So that you have beautifully encapsulated all the features that set this apart from other trains run by railways, and also the thought behind it and the need to get back a market share from road, which was at one point in time 82%, as you mentioned, for railways. Now it's come down to almost 10% in passenger and 27% in freight. You want to take it up to almost 43% and sustain it there. That's a beautiful summary to start off the journey that we are talking about. But one thing that I would like to ask you about is that we are calling this a semi-high-speed train. Of course, high speed becomes more than 300 kilometers. That is something, as you mentioned, Shinkansen or the bullet train that we are looking forward from Ahmedabad to Mumbai. But if you look at semi-high speed, the general expectation is 160 to 200. And where we are seeing this train right now, initially the first one was, I think, an average speed of around 96. But the later ones have come down to almost 80. And I was reading that one of the big reasons for that is track fencing, because track fencing has to be a prerequisite before you can actually move to speeds beyond 120, 130 in terms of safety. So how is this track fencing coming along, and is there enough budgetary support for that?
Yes. Track fencing is a necessity if you go beyond 150 km per hour, and that is a challenge. Challenge is twofold to provide. It is a cost-intensive thing, and then to maintain it. In both the directions, work is going on, and track fencing is also two types. There are very heavy populated areas, like it has to be very solid type of fencing. Where there is a very less population, when you go beyond metro cities, then it can be a much less costlier fencing. So on both the directions we are working, and I will say like Delhi, Agra was the first route to be totally fenced, and we are working in that direction. Great. Second thing, I'm talking of semi-high speed trains.
Right.
When you go to high speed, of course, it has to be elevated at most of the train, and that's how this Ahmedabad Mumbai high speed train, the Indian version of Shinkansen, is coming.
Right. So track fencing is obviously a necessity, and hopefully that will come. The other thing that I wanted to know about is that so many trains are being manufactured, and in fact last year's budget, Nirmala Sitharamanji said that there will be 400 trains over the next 3 years, and with that kind of number, and 75 is expected by this August 15th. That's the target that the Prime Minister had given in the Independence Day speech on 15th August 2021. So many trains being manufactured at Chennai, Raebareli and other coach factories will obviously generate jobs. So tell us about the employment impact of the Vande Bharat train.
Ravi, employment impact is tremendous. Firstly, the confidence of engineers. I have before me full timetable how the 75th train manufactured will come off ICF on 15th August 2023, meeting the target announced by Honorable Prime Minister. The job which is very necessary in our country will come in many ways. Firstly, manufacturing, then jobs in ancillaries who are supplying the ancillary equipment like electrics are coming from somewhere, traction motor is coming from somewhere, transformer is coming from somewhere, pantograph is coming from somewhere, the sheets are coming from the industry. So all over the industry where the components are manufactured, they will generate the job. Right. Then the logistics. The transportation of these sophisticated equipment to the manufacturing will generate jobs. Then running the tourism industry which provides logistics will be. And one thing more important which is not noted very much, we are making a freight version of Vande Bharat. A freight train working at 180 km per hour, wow, which will really make a breakthrough in logistics. Raviji, actually railways is known for carrying bulk commodities like coal, steam, food grains.
Right.
But if you have to increase the market, the share of railways to 43%, then you should take consumables, you should take vegetables, you should take medicines. You will take all the commodities, only then you can make it. And for that, the speed, the environment, all are requirements. So with this high-speed, semi-high-speed freight train, we will be moving in this direction. And as Prime Minister rightly said in his speech while inaugurating this Vande Bharat train from Secunderabad to Vizag, that in all these directions, like Kisan train, like for vegetables, right, food grains and consumables, which has been launched, this is a great achievement. And coming to freight, I'll tell you one example how world is moving. In Italy, from Carseta to Rome, they launched their freight train working at 350 km per hour. And again it was said the idea is to take away the traffic from road to rail to make it environment friendly and take the challenge of climate change. So same thing, India is a very big country. So freight running at 180 km per hour, it will attract all our...
It will be a game changer.
It will be a game changer in taking perishables, in taking medicines, so many commodities which will come, and this will also have an impact on the pollution in the cities because this train will be totally carbon neutral. So number of vehicles coming to the metros will reduce, pollution will reduce. So this will be a game changer in many directions.
In fact, one of the things that is about tourism, and in fact Vande Bharat offers a novel travel experience for New India. So just briefly tell us about the impact that it is likely to have on tourism in India, both tourism within India, domestic tourism, as well as foreigners coming to India.
I will add a third dimension to this.
Okay.
Domestic tourism, international tourism and business development. See, if a business executive can go, finish job, come the same day, company is saving on hotel expenditure, so many other expenditures. And if he comes straight to this central business district where our stations are located, he will save expense from getting down in the airport, coming in the congested area. So it will really impact business, what we say, ease of doing business in the country. And of course, domestic travel, because the travel is cheaper, it is pocket friendly, and for international travelers, he can look forward to same experience as he's experienced in Tokyo or in Paris. So all the three pillars, we are confident that this will be a game changer for tourism sector in India.
So, Mr. Dutt, exciting times ahead, both for the freight sector as well as for passengers and tourists traveling in India. Thank you so much for joining us on All India Radio and illuminating us on the various aspects of Vande Bharat.
Thank you, Raviji.
You were listening to a discussion on Vande Bharat Express Desh Ki Train. The participants were Vijay Dutt, former additional member, Railways, and V. Ravi Kumar, AIR correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.